Welcome to your Vortex in-service video on our revolutionary human waste disposal system. In this video, we will cover the installation, operation, and service of the Vortex macerator. Vortex provides responsible solutions for human waste management that improve infection control. The Vortex system combines biodegradable bedside products made of bleach-free post-consumer newsprint with our specially designed macerators. The resulting closed system provides a safe, efficient method of waste disposal that saves nursing time while reducing cross-contamination. It is important to remember that our macerators are a mechanical toilet, just like yours at home. Our macerators in your toilet can only accept human waste and paper products or cellulose. Remember, putting the wrong things in your macerator will cause blockages, just like putting the wrong things in your toilet. Disposing of anything other than Vortex bedside products and wipes, Kleenex and toilet paper, and brown paper towel in your macerator may cause operational issues. The Vortex installation easily accommodates most hospital space and availability of their existing utilities. Vortex's technical support is available for pre-installation consultation if needed. The Vortex comes in both 110 and 220 volt models. The Vortex requires only a cold water supply and connection to a wasteline. The Vortex is delivered on its shipping pallet and should be inspected on receipt. Vortex attaches shock and drop indicators to allow quick determination if the macerator received possible damages in transit. Claims to couriers should be noted. Please refer to installation guidelines provided on the outside packaging. The Vortex will need to be connected to a 2-inch drain. It is a good practice to snake the lines as far as possible, or at least 25 feet. Before you begin the installation, ensure that the wasteline is clear and free of any buildup that may have built up over time. If you have access to a camera, this would allow a closer inspection of the condition of the plumbing and determine if replacement is necessary prior to installing the macerator. The outlet should be no further than 5 to 6 feet from the stack. This will reduce the opportunity for blockages. Refrain from using 90-degree bends, but if it is absolutely necessary, ensure these are wide swept bends. To facilitate placement of the macerator and supply utilities, a template has been provided. The template provides location of the appropriate position in the floor in which to drill for anchorage of the macerator. Appropriate space should be left for servicing of the macerator. However, if it is necessary to place the macerator back tight to the wall, then we suggest using the removable platform. This will raise the outlet connection by 2 inches and allow easy removal of the macerator when service is required. If a greater outlet height is required, please call to speak to our technical support staff. Vortex has a built-in clean water reservoir that it draws water from during its cycle. In the event of a failure of the fill valve, provision for overflow must be made, either routing the water to a floor drain or by connecting to the wasteline using a ton dish and check valve. Vortex is supplied in either a 110 or 220 volt 15 amp model. It comes fitted with a twist lock type plug. An appropriate corresponding outlet connected to an electrical motor switch must be installed. The electrical outlet should not be a GFI breaker, as it may cause nuisance tripping of the circuit breaker by the internal noise filter. If the macerator is to be connected to an emergency power grid, then necessary surge suppression needs to be installed to avoid damage to the macerator's CPU. For further information, please contact technical support. Connect the macerator to the cold water. A shutoff is required. The Vortex is operated by releasing the lid by placing your foot into the footwell. This breaks the infrared beam, unlocks the lid, and allows the lid to rise on its own. Once the utensil and its contents are placed inside, the lid can be closed. Closing the lid automatically starts the cycle. Resetting the macerator is done by depressing the green button located on the top left-hand side. The disposal cycle commences by filling the hopper with water. The motor then starts and the contents are macerated into a fine slurry by the blades. Vortex received its name and patented macerating action, which is caused by the turning blades in water. The lid remains locked throughout the duration of the cycle, eliminating the possibility of any aerosols being emitted during the cycle. At the end of the cycle, the drain opens, allowing this fine slurry to exit the hopper. A final rinse, aided by an injection of our odor-eliminating deodorizer, washes the interior of the hopper, leaving it clean and ready for the next use. There is a digital display located on the top right-hand side that illustrates the condition state of the macerator. Service should only be undertaken by qualified technicians and tradespeople. Please refer to the service manual for detailed troubleshooting guide and repair instructions. In this video, we will illustrate the functionality of the macerator and its components. It is important to wear the appropriate personal protective equipment when servicing the macerator. To prevent serious injury, isolate electrical and water services prior to working on the macerator. Servicing the Vortex is easily performed with most parts accessible through the front of the macerator. However, both sides of the macerator can be removed if required. The source of the water the Vortex uses during its cycle comes from the water reservoir located on the rear of the macerator. Water level is controlled and filled into the reservoir through the side entry float valve. Also located in the reservoir is a reed-type level switch that tells the macerator when it has sufficient water to run the cycle. If there isn't enough water, a water low alarm will beep, and the macerator will not start until the water level is attained. Upon closing the lid is locked and will remain locked until the infrared foot sensor is signaled. As a safety precaution, if the macerator has commenced a cycle, the lid will not open until the end of the cycle. When the lid is closed, a small magnet located in the lid handle signals the Hall effect sensor located beneath the top panel that the lid is closed. The actuator is then activated and a locking pin moves into the lid handle, locking the lid. Vortex comes with a twist lock type plug already affixed. Two inline 15 amp fuses are contained in the gray waterproof plastic housing located before the power supply unit. When in auto start mode, begin a cycle by closing the lid. The button is used for resetting only or starting when in manual operation mode. The new hands-free Vortex utilizes the infrared foot beam to open and close the macerator lid when the foot is placed in the footwell. When closed, the macerator will automatically commence the cycle. The Vortex has two water solenoids. The first controls the water to the diaphragm at the beginning and during the maceration cycle. The second controls the exiting water from the diaphragm towards the end of the cycle. The water pump provides water first to the diaphragm, which closes the hopper. Secondly, it fills the hopper through the lid spray with water that will allow the contents to macerate and supplies water to the motor flange, keeping it free of debris throughout the cycle. Near the end of the cycle, the pump will turn on again and provide a clean rinse to remove any final debris from the hopper. When the cycle starts, the water is pumped into the diaphragm cavity and will cause it to stretch until the hopper's drain is closed. At the end of the cycle, the water is expelled from the cavity and the hopper's drain is opened. The PCB, or printed circuit board, controls the overall operation of the macerator. The foot sensor, start button, Hall effect sensor, power supply, digital display. The pressure switch, when activated, stops the macerator, and drain block is indicated on the drain. The audible alarm will sound when a cycle is commenced or a fault has been detected. Also contained on the PCB are two buttons, one that will allow the drain to open in the event of a malfunction, and the other to run the pump manually for testing. There is an onboard connector in the event that a software upgrade is needed. The power supply unit, or PSU, located on the floor of the macerator at the front, contains a noise filter, 24-volt step-down transformer that run the pump, solenoids, and PCB, which are connected by keyed or color-coded communication cables. Also located in here is the inverter that controls the 230-volt three-phase motor. The motor which turns the cutting blades is controlled from the inverter. If the motor becomes jammed as a result of items blocking the motor, the inverter will sense the increased amperage draw and will reverse the motor to free itself. It will attempt this 3 more times. If at the end the motor is still blocked, the inverter will stop the motor and send a fault to the PCB, and a motor blocked error will appear on the digital display. The blades will need to be cleared before commencing another cycle. Prior to servicing the macerator, it will be necessary to isolate the electrical and water services. It is also necessary to don the appropriate personal protective equipment when servicing the macerator. Vortex utilizes an odor eliminating system that is easily refilled when needed. During the rinse phase of the cycle, the solenoid opens and a small amount of deodorizer is injected into the rinse stream that will neutralize any unpleasant odors. At the end of the cycle, the slurry will exit through the drain. The vent and check valve allow the hopper to drain without creating a back pressure. If back pressure is created, such as when there is a drain block, then the macerator will stop immediately and a drain block will be indicated on the digital display. The drain block will need to be corrected before the cycle can continue. If you have any questions regarding the installation, operation, or servicing of the macerator, please call technical support at 1-800-268-2422 and one of our technicians will be available to assist you. Thank you for watching.